Abraham Lincoln was killed in front of his children in 1786. Say what? It was in May of that year when Lincoln and his three children, Josiah, Mordecai, and Thomas, were busy planting in a crop of corn on the land they had purchased a few years earlier in Kentucky when they were attacked by a band of Shawnee Indians. Abraham was hit in the first volley, and he fell dead on the spot. Josiah ran for help. In one version of the incident, Mordecai, 14, and Thomas, 6, both ran to the cabin. In another version, Thomas stayed behind in the field. But in either case, Mordecai quickly returned with a rifle and shot the brave that was about to scalp their father. Soon after, Josiah returned with men from town, and the Indians retreated. So ended the life of the grandfather of the 16th President of the United States. But was this simply a clash between Native Americans and encroaching settlers? The Revolutionary War was over, but the British still had an interest west of the colonies. Back in 1777, Governor Henry Hamilton, headquartered at Fort Detroit, had received orders to encourage Indian raids against Yankee frontier settlements in Ohio and Kentucky. Although he later said he gave those he hired specific instructions to prevent barbarity, they were paid for their results, and they proved it by bringing back prisoners and scalps. Hamilton was captured by the colonists in 1779, but the people he employed and the policies he began stayed in effect. One man in particular became infamously connected. Simon Girty was 9 years old in 1750 when his own father was killed by Indians. 6 years later, his entire family was captured by a Seneca tribe, and his stepfather was burned at the stake in front of him. He resurfaced among white society in 1771 near Fort Pitt, and with his knowledge and skills of Native American languages and customs, he first aided the colonial revolutionaries and then switched sides to the British. He joined the British Indian Department at Fort Detroit in 1778, and for the next 16 years he led countless excursions against Yankee settlers along the Ohio and Kentucky frontier, with various bands of Mingo, Wyandot, and Shawnee braves. According to Silas Farmer's 1884 History of Detroit, from 1783 to 1790, no less than 3,000 persons were scalped or made captives by bands from Detroit. Abraham Lincoln Sr. may well have been one of their victims. Luckily, his children, and especially young Thomas, survived. In the end, the British Indian Department's plans didn't stop Yankee expansion, but they may have inadvertently almost deprived the United States of one of its most important presidents. And that's today's footnote.